Okay, so a lot of people think DTC-005 got nerfed. It does appear to be that way as far as the language is concerned. But anyways, we're going to jump in and break it down and hopefully clear it up for those of you who still aren't sure what this is all about. So the title of the rule change is Modify the DTC Settlement Service Guide and the form of DTC Pledgees Agreement. Now, if you remember, we just had DTC-009 come out last week that added a disclaimer to every service guide saying that DTC basically doesn't assume liability in the event of a member loss. So keep that in mind. So some terms we'll be looking at here. A pledge, you're going to see that repeated frequently in this filing. Now that's creating or providing for a security interest in a certificated or uncertificated security, a securities account, or a securities entitlement in accordance with the NYUCC. Now the NYUCC is just the Uniform Commercial Code of New York as amended from time to time. And a certified security is a security that is represented by a certificate, and the opposite, an uncertified security, is not represented by a certificate. So while generally speaking, if you look throughout the filing, it repeats the same thing over and over again for the most part, the main thing to take away from this is that they're going to be adding a notational value to a form of collateral that's been pledged. So once a piece of collateral has been pledged by a participant, it cannot be repledged until the notation is removed by the participant. So it says right here, this status systematically prevents the pledged position from being used to complete other transactions or rehypothecation, which is consistent with the pledgee's control over the pledged securities as discussed above. Likewise, the release of a pledged position results in the removal of the notation of the pledged status of the position, and the position will become available to the pledger to complete other transactions. So basically what it's saying is once the collateral is pledged in the system, once it's systematically pledged, it cannot be used again until that notation is removed. So that is one critical add that they have done. Now the revised text itself, basically they've removed some things, they've added some things. On subject A here, collateral loans, they've removed the sentence saying continues to be credited to the pledger's account, however, with the system notation showing the status of the position as pledged by the pledger to the pledgee. This status systematically, that was added. So anything underlined is added, anything in brackets is removed. So again, they're just reiterating the fact that once the system notation showing the status is pledged, you cannot use it again for another transaction. And that's basically it. So while that does, fix a lot of issues in the market, it's hard to tell if it's actually going to be enforced by this ruling, because again, the language went from very direct before to kind of lackadaisical as we read it today. And they removed this where instead of the pledged securities moving back to your general free account, it's going to stay with the original pledger until the notation is removed again. So text included under the heading Pledges to the Options Clearing Corporation was changed very slightly. Really, they just capitalized pledging, and they removed the sentence which are then returned to the participant's general free account, which goes hand in hand with the collateral not moving once it's been pledged. And that's basically the sum of this filing. You cannot pledge collateral more than once it's already been pledged. Now, we won't know if this is going to be filed until it appears here in the Fed Register. It does say effective upon filing, but you got to remember, until it shows up here in pending publication on the Fed Register, it will not be implemented. It cannot be implemented until it comes here first. So we see here all of these waiting to be published will be implemented tomorrow if they show up on the recently published section of the website. So again, 005, while this version of it's not that exciting, it still accomplishes the same thing, prevents rehypothecation of collateral, which, as we just discussed earlier today and yesterday, and of course Goldman Sachs just created a new bank account specifically for rehypothecation separation. So everything's coming in place. We really only have one more filing left, 002, which would then in turn approve 801. So that's all we got left. Hang in there. It's getting close.